Our group is the Gathering of Eagles.
The Gathering of Eagles?
Okay. We're a support group for the troops. We defend them. We won't let the American public do what they did to Vietnam vets. We make sure the troops get home, that they're honored, and that people don't belittle them. And that's basically, we're a nonpartisan organization. Okay, you will see some McCain supporters here, but basically we're nonpartisan, and we support the troops. We send the packages out of our own pockets. We're not supported like this other group down here by George Soros and all his money. Okay, everything that's done through the Gathering Eagles is done through private donation from the members of the company, of the organization.
So, how big is your guys' group in New York or nationally?
It's a national group. We have members all over, and when times are called, this was put together at approximately 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Okay, that's how short notice, and we showed up here, and that's what we do. The guys that can make it, we make it, and we try to support our own,
And what force were you involved with, and like where were you serving?
I served in Vietnam.
Okay.
In 1969 to 70.
Okay. Were we the Army, Navy, Air Force? Army. Okay. And what was your experience like coming back to this country from being a soldier in Vietnam?
It wasn't a good experience. People treated you like garbage. Okay. They only called you baby killers, and it's not right. It's not right. It's a lot of it was propaganda that was brought on by the media, and it's it wasn't right. Okay. And we decided, and actually it started with the first Gulf War. Okay. There was no formal group, but people treated the GIs coming home, with respect. We didn't belittle them. We supported them. Okay. And that's what we want, is to make sure our troops are taken care of. Okay. They're fighting for these people's their rights to do what they're doing on these corners, to protest, to have their views, to say what they want. Okay. Without them, without the support of our troops, we wouldn't have this. Okay. You couldn't do this in China. You couldn't do this in Russia. Okay. So it means a lot.
How do you feel like the soldiers coming back from Iraq or Afghanistan, how are they being treated today? What do you think?
They're being treated a lot better, but they're still, you have this one Congressman Murther from Pennsylvania who belittled the truth because of an action that happened where there was people killed. Okay, until there's a full investigation, you can't say anything. Okay, it's not right. When you're out in combat, okay, it's a totally different situation. And until you're there and saw what these guys go through, you can't pass judgment on it. Okay, so it's until there's something said, to be said, by the people to defend themselves or what happened, you can't, you don't know the kind of stress they're under. Okay. So
what do you think the country should be doing, either more of or differently, to help support the troops right now, either in Iraq, Afghanistan, or anywhere they're deployed?
They should have, the people should be behind them 100%. Okay. The government makes policy, okay, on what's going on. You have all these politicians vote for it one way, and when things aren't going right, they switch sides and they say, well, we don't want it. You can't do that to the American troops. When you put them in a situation, you got to follow through. Okay, in Vietnam, what happened was we won the war in Vietnam. We had them to the peace table. We had them to surrender. The politicians just let it go. Okay, and we don't want that to happen. Our troops are honorable people. Okay, they should be treated that way. Okay, that's how we feel. As an organization, these people are putting their lives on the line every day for people. Okay, so it's like I say, these people can say all they want. You got to support the troops.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Like, what's your sort of first reaction when you see, a protest like this going by?
Well, I've encountered this group about 2.5 years ago in Washington, D.C. Okay, they threatened to vandalize the Vietnam Memorial, and again, at that time, approximately 4 weeks' time through the internet. I read on different articles, and people these guys just got in their car and went there. Okay, we had about 6,000 people down there, and they didn't know which end was up down there. And they're not even. You know what? It's one thing you have a protest group, but you got all these little mixed-in groups that have nothing to do with anything. Okay, and some of these people, they aren't even American citizens. They don't have a right to protest our country. Okay, it's not. You know, let them go to their countries and protest. You know, I have no problem with our American citizens, but why do we have to put up with these other groups? Okay, and they're all well funded. Okay, that's the problem, is that they're all funded by a person or a group of people. Okay, we don't have that. If we had that kind of funding, you'd see our names splashed all over the papers. And the media is so biased against us. You know, they don't show. When we were down in Washington, they had a clip on one of the news channels. I think it was all 20 seconds. Okay, that they panned the whole area. But if you were down there, you would have saw what was going on. Okay, you know, we take care of our own. You know, you have to, because these people have no idea. They really have no idea. The education system is so liberal. You know, it's you know, nobody wants to have to do what they have to do. You know, leave it up to somebody else to do. Okay.
Maybe not necessarily a less political question, but if you could be sort of inside moderating the presidential debates tonight, what would be a question, like if you could ask your preferred question, what would you ask the candidates tonight?
You know, that's a hard one. It's, you know, there's just so much. You know, there's my whole thing is, you know what, there should be term limits on this. These politicians have too much power because of the money behind it. Okay, you limit the term limits. You know, they vote. You know, in the middle of the night for their pay raises. Okay, you know, they get a pay raise. They say, well, we're going to take a cost of living raise. It was 3%. Well, they figured 3% on $120,000. Okay, the cost of living is figured at poverty level at $12,000 a year. You know what? Take your 3% on the first $12,000. Okay, don't you know, because your salary, you know, you'd cost you $3,000 more a year to live.
Right.
Okay, it's just, you know, it's got. And the other thing is that, you know what I would ask them? I would ask them. Actually, I would mention to them. You know, they keep calling Social Security an entitlement. Okay, I work for myself. Okay, I pay 15% of my salary. So don't tell me that's an entitlement. Okay, you know, maybe Medicaid might be, okay, but don't tell me Social Security is it. And if you took the numbers, okay, and they're saying how many hundreds of millions or billions is in the Social Security system. Let's take the government employees and figure out how much money is in there. I guarantee there's more money used there than there is for Social Security. Because all these people, they go in, look at these congressmen, they get 2, 3, 4 pensions. How can you do that in the private sector? You know, it's outrageous. It's outrageous. You know, it's not right. It's not right. You know, they're going to push people so far. Okay. You know, where I come from in New Jersey, I'm up in Sussex County. You know what? People up there, they're talking. They're fed up. Okay. They really are fed up. Okay. And until something drastic happens, okay, these people are just going to look what they just did to us with the bailout. Okay. They voted down $700 billion, and they come back at $800 billion. What's all this earmarks? You know, I thought you were for the American people. They're not for the American people. Okay, they're for themselves. You know what? How do I grease this one to get this done or that done? You know, it's like, hey, let's get real. You know, let's stop giving all these countries money. Get our house in order before anything else. Okay, and just stop. You know, everybody's entitled to this, that, and the other thing. No, you know what? Everybody earns their own, and you go down. The whole system's broken.
Do you think we'll see a shift again in this country towards more?
I think in the next 10 years you'll see a revolution in this country.
You think so?
I actually think there's going to be a revolution.
Which, like, in which way do you think? Like,
people are fed up with politicians. Yeah. Okay, they're fed up with what's going on. You know, and they just they've had it. They've been pushed so far. You know, you keep pushing us, and you keep bailing out these bigwigs, these CEOs, and these people just use our money, and it's like, you know, screw you. It's like, you know, and that's, you know, until somebody starts doing something about it, you know, that's what's going to happen. You know.